Alright, so good day everyone. So let's have this sample problem with regards with our first topic. So what we have here, the floor slab of a library is supported by 600 by 350 millimeter RC beam spaced at 1.8 meters on center, as shown in figure. Given the following loads, so under the floor slab and RC beam, the unit weight, specifically the concrete material, which is 23.6 kilonewton per cubic meter. And the thickness of the floor slab is 100 millimeter. For our floor loads, we have the dead load, which is the 1.2 kilopascal, which is in terms of a floor load. And the floor load for our live load here is 4.8 kilopascal. So we need to determine the following based on LRFD. Please take note that the slab distribution should be as tributary area and a monolithic slab, which is later on we need to elaborate kung ano nga bang ibig sabihin ng monolithic slab. But we need to answer two questions here. So first, the governing load in terms of kilopascal of the slab, and the second one is the governing load in terms of kilonewton per meter of the beam. Okay, so on this sample problem, ang tinatanong lang dito is ano yung magiging maximum or the largest value of the load coming from our load cases here, which is from the floor slab and the RC beam and then the given floor loads. So una, ang kailangan muna natin sagutin dito is ano yung maximum load that will carry on the top of the slab. Then after that is we will get the value of the uniform load. Kaya nga dito may kilonewton per meter dun naman sa beam. Of course, considering dito yung distribution ng load coming from the slab. Okay, so ito yung magiging floor system natin. So we already known sa ating figure na we have a slab and also we have here an RC beam. Starting from equation 203-1, of course, using this equation and also incorporating din natin yung mga ginamit nating variables, which is this is in terms of a floor load. So what we have here for our first ultimate uniform distributed live load is now equal to 4.32 kilonewton per meter. Kaya lang once again class, isang slab lang to. So pagdating natin sa governing load of the beam, so of course, ang load case lang natin dito is just simply dead load and live load. So ang gagamitin na natin dito is coming from the second load combination, which is yung dinerive ko sa inyo kanina, which is the 1.2 dead load plus 1.6 live load. So let's substitute it. So please take note that this 4.956, this is the self-weight of the beam. However, yung next term natin under the dead load case natin, this is 3.204 coming from the self-weight. Okay, so yung first na kukunin natin dito, ulitin ko yung ating governing load on the top of the slab. So, ibig sabihin lang na to, dapat yung answer natin dito is maging in terms of kilo Pascal. Kaya nga yung magiging subscript natin dito, instead of using P, this time around ay gagamitin natin ay in terms of Q. And also, we are using here the LRFD or the load resistance factor design, which is same term siya with our ultimate strength design or the USD. So that kung makikita nyo dito, meron tayo ditong subscript na U, which is this stands for the ultimate load or the maximum load that will carry on the top of the slab. Okay, so we need to determine first the self-weight of the slab kasi nga given naman, although given naman yung ating dead load dito which is equal to the 1.2 kilopascal, however kasi given din tayo ng unit weight which is in terms of 23.6 kilonewton per cubic meter. So this unit weight, ibig sabihin lang yan yung magiging density or ito yung magiging self-weight na magagaling do sa mismong slab. Then after that, we will add dito sa ating floor loads which is under sa dead load. So kunin muna natin yung self-weight ng slab. As you can see here, para makuha natin siya, we need to multiply the unit weight multiply sa kanyang thickness. So given tayo ng unit weight, of course, given din tayo ng thickness. However, yung in terms of our linear distance, this is in terms of meters. However, the thickness here is in terms of millimeter. So, kailangan yung millimeter, we need to convert it into meters. Kaya sa substitution natin, we have 23.6 multiplied by 0.1. Yung 0.1, yan yung nag-convert galing sa ating thickness from millimeter into meters. And then, makukuha na din natin dito yung self-weight of slab which is equal to 2.36 kilo Pascal. So, ibig sabihin lang na to, ito yung self-weight or yung bigat mismo ng ating slab galing sa concrete material. But of course, we need to add it to our self. Oh, so you superimpose dead load natin which is the 1.2 kilo Pascal. So let's add it up. So of course, nakuha na rin natin dito yung self-weight. We need to add it, no? So we have 22.36 plus 1.2. Ang makukuha natin dito total dead load here which is 3.56 kilo Pascal. Okay? So ibig sabihin lang na to class, ang pinaka load case lang na binanggit lang sa problem is dead load and live load only. Okay? So, pero we need to answer the first question which is the governing load. So, when we are having the governing load here, ibig sabihin lang na to is we need to all include yung ating code provision sa pagkuha ng ating governing load which is using the section 203.3 and in the conjunction with this one which is the 203.3.1. Same mechanics lang siya doon sa ating previous sample problem na kung saan using these 7 equations, we need to determine the most critical effects or sa madaling salita, yung maximum value ng ating mga following load combinations. Alright, so first, let's compute the self-weight of the beam which is in terms of a uniform load. So kung kanina sa ating floor load under the slab, ang ginagawa lang natin dito para makuha mo in terms of kilopascal, minumultiply lang natin yung unit weight ng ating concrete sa kanyang thickness. Kaya lang kapag slab ang pinag-uusapan natin. However kasi, self-weight ng beam yung kailangan nating kunin. So instead of multiplying it sa kanyang thickness, or should I say in terms of height, we need to get this in terms of area. So ibig sabihin lang na to, we need to multiply the unit weight of the concrete sa cross-sectional ng ating beam. Kaya lang, considering a monolithic slab. Ibig sabihin lang na to, yung magiging height natin dito, which is the 0.6, or the 600 millimeters, you don't need to add the 100 millimeter of the thickness. Kasi nga naka-integrate na po yung mismong slab natin doon sa beam natin. That's why our area here is now become 0.6 multiplied by 0.35. And by the way, since yung ating linear distance ay in terms of meters, kailangan yung magiging area natin ay magiging meters then. That's why from the millimeters, kinonvert ko lang siya into meters. Okay? So what I have here is 23.6 multiplied by 0.6 multiplied by 0.35, which is this is the cross-sectional area. So our self-weight of the beam here is now become 4.956 kilonewton per meters. Okay? So nakuha na natin yung self-weight ng beam. Kaso, hindi tayo pwedeng magtapos dito. Dahil nga, sabi ko nga kanina, kailangan makuha natin yung magiging uniform distributed load ng ating beam. Ng ating slab. So, since ano lang naman to class, yung kanyang distance ng ating beam is parehas lang, ang pwede natin gawin dito, kunin na lang natin yung isang portion ng ating equal distribution ng ating slab. So since tributary area lang to, so ibig sabihin we can use here yung ating formula for the one-way slab. Okay? So kaya lang tayo ay nasa dead load case pa lang tayo ha. Please take note for that. So that ang gagamitin natin ditong floor load, dapat yung dead load din and also yung total dead load na itself. So, ibig sabihin lang nito is we will use here the 3.56. Then multiply lang natin sa 1.8. Ang 1.8 natin dito is the center to center spacing ng mga beams natin. So, of course, we need to divide it by 2. Okay, para ma-distribute natin siya to the next adjacent beam natin. So, what I have here is the uniform distributed load from the slab is now become 3.204 kilonewton per meter. So, ibig sabihin lang yan na po yung dadalhin natin or yan na po yung mismong itatransfer natin doon sa mismong beam natin. Kaya lang, class please take note, isang slab pa lang to. Kaso, dito sa ating diagram, magkabilaan po yan. Floor load, which is the 1.4 multiplied by the dead load plus yung ating fluid load. However, in this sample problem, wala tayong given dito na fluid load. So what we can do here is we need to direct substitute all of the available load cases here. So, ang makukuha lang natin dito is 1.4 multiplied by 3.56 plus 0. So, what we get here for our first ultimate floor load is 4.984 kilo Pascal. And then next load combination from the equation 203-2. So what we have here in this formula, however, once again, kung ano lang available na load cases that are given in our sample problem, yun lang yung masasubstitute natin dito. So let's substitute from this formula, which is the 1.2 multiplied by 3.6 plus 1.6 multiplied by 4.8. So we will get the value of the second ultimate floor load, which is 11.952 kilo Pascal. Okay? So let's proceed with our third load combination. However, in the third load combination that we have here, kung mapapansin nyo dito, is meron tayo ditong or na value or yung or na preposition. Kasi nga, class, kapag nakita kayo ng ganitong wording sa ating load combination, ibig sabihin lang yan, you need to pick first yung availability ng ating load cases. Then, on the next load combination, same pa rin yung formula. However, iba naman yung isa-substitute mo dito. Okay? But in our scenario here, ang meron lang tayo talaga dito is dead load and live load only. But kung mapapansin niyo dito is meron din tayong gagamitin na value na F sub 1. In this case, sabi ko nga sa mga previous sample problems natin, in terms of our simplicity, we will substitute it as 0.5. Okay? So what we have here is the 1.2 multiplied by 3.56 plus the 0.5 multiplied by 4.8, which is our live load. So for our third ultimate combination or ultimate floor load, we have 6.672 kilo Pascal. For our next load combinations here, so same formula pa rin yung gagamitin natin. However, class, since meron tayo ditong preposition na or, so wala na tong unang subscript or unang variable or unang term na minention dito. However, meron din tayong consider dito na wind load. Kaso nga lang, wala tayong given na wind load dito, so we will consider it as 0. So by the way, wala din tayong given na roof live load and then wala din tayong given na rain load. So that yung second term natin, automatic magiging 0 na po siya. Okay? So once again, let's substitute it. So for our fourth ultimate floor load natin, we have 4.272 kilo Pascal. Okay? So galing lang siya dun sa ating third load combination. However, instead of using F sub 1 multiplied by L, so gagamitin natin dito is 1.0 wind load. However, wala nga tayong wind load. That's why we will consider this as 0. Alright, so let's proceed with our fourth load combination. So under the equation 203-4, so this is the presented equation, and then let's substitute the available load cases here. So what we have here is 1.2 multiplied by 3.56 plus 0.5 multiplied by 4.8. So our fifth ultimate floor load is now equal to 6.672 kilopascal. So, same manner pa rin yung gagawin natin for the next load combination which is under the equation 203-5. Okay, so this is the presented equation under the equation 203-5. So substitute lang natin yung available na load case. What we have here is 1.2 multiplied by 3.56 plus 0.5 multiplied by 4.8. So dahil nga meron nga tayo ditong f sub 1, so we will use once again yung 0.5 for the simplicity of the sample problem. And our 6 ultimate floor load is now equal to 6.672 kilopascal. Actually, this is the same earlier dito sa ating ultimate floor load under the section 203-3, which is the 6.672, and also from the fourth load combination. All right, so let's proceed with our sixth load combination, which is under the equation 203-6. So ito yung presented equation natin. Then let's direct substitute it. What I have here is 0.93.56. So that our seventh ultimate floor load is now equal to 3.204 kilopascal. And then for our last load combination here, which is under the equation 203-7. So ito yung ating equation na gagamitin. Once again, kung ano lang yung given dito na load case, yun lang yung pwede nating masubstitute. So let's simply substitute it. So actually, same lang yung lalabas from our last ultimate floor load natin, which is same lang nung galing sa equation number 203-6. Alright. So, once again, class, kung babasahin ulit natin ng ating provision, kailangan makuha natin dito yung most critical effects. Or should I say, the largest value using this design method. So, these are the presented ultimate floor loads na na-compute natin kanina. So, ang ibig sabihin lang nito, class, ang pinaka mag-govern dito is the floor load under the load combination number 2, which is ang equivalent lang nito is just simply 11.952 kilopascal. Okay? But please take note kasi ang given lang natin dito for our load cases is only the dead load and live load. Please take note kapag yan lang yung given natin to our load case. So, ang gagamitin nyo lang dito or in the simplified version for this one is you can now use the 1.2 dead load plus 1.6 live load. If yan nga lang ang given na load case. So, ibig sabihin lang yan, yung equation number 2 natin earlier, which is this one, it can gives us a guarantee na ito na yung magiging maximum load or the ultimate load kapag ang given lang is only dead load and live load. So, ibig sabihin lang yan, class, you don't need to proceed with the rest of the load combination kung ito lang ang load cases mo. You may now direct using the equation 203-2 to get the largest value among the load combinations natin. Okay? So this is our first part of our sample problem. So the next part of our sample problem here, of course, nasagutan na natin yung letter A. Let's proceed with the question B. So the governing load in terms of kilonewton per meter. Palagi nyo tatandaan na kapag sinabi natin kilopascal, so malamang maririnig nyo yan under slab, no? Kapag puro slab lang ang pinag-uusapan natin. However, kapag in terms of kilonewton per meter, so ang ibig sabihin lang nito, ito ay uniform distributed load na dadalhin naman ni beam. Okay? So, kaso, ang magiging technique lang natin dito kasi ang mangyayari dyan, class, galing dito sa ating floor loads that will carry in our slab. Ang gagawin natin kasi dyan, class, i-distribute natin lahat ng floor loads in each load cases patungo sa ating mga beams. Okay? But sinabihan tayo dito ng instruction na kung saan ang magiging slab distribution natin dito is only tributary area. Kapag sinabi natin tributary area, ang ibig sabihin lang po nun, we will treat this as one-way slab. Ibig sabihin, let's say, on this sample beam natin, ito yung target nating beam, no? So, ang mangyayari lang dyan, class, kung ano yung floor load galing dito sa slab na ito at kung ano yung magiging floor load na galing dito sa kabilang slab or the adjacent slabs that carry by our beam, ang mangyayari lang dyan, class, i-distribute lang natin sila. Okay? So we need to divide it equally so that it can carry by our beam here. So that magiging uniform distributed load na siya, which is always in terms of kilonewton per meter yung magiging units natin dito. However, binigyan din tayo ng note dito. So sabi dito, we need to treat this as monolithic slab. So ano nga bang ibig sabihin ng monolithic slab? So actually, I can present here using this diagram. Okay, so kapag sinabi nating monolithic slab or should I say non-monolithic slab, this is based on the setup of our beam between the relationship ng beam height natin and then yung ating slab thickness. So kapag sinabi nating non-monolithic slab, ang ibig sabihin lang po nun, class, is yung ating beam or yung ating slab, which is this one, ay nakapatong lang just above in our beam. Okay? So, ibig sabihin lang yan, kung kukunin mo yung height ng beam, of course, yung nasa ilalim lang. Kasi parang lumalabas, nakapatong lang yung slab sa ating beam. Alright, so kung ginawa natin under the dead load case itong distribution natin from the slab, ganun din yung gagawin natin para naman sa live load, okay? So yung live load natin dito as a given in our floor load is equal to 4.8 kilopascal. So ganun din yung magiging approach natin dito. So what we need to do here is using the formula from the one-way slab, which is same lang as the tributary area. So what we have here is the 4.8 multiplied by the center-to-center spacing, 1.8 divided by 2. So yung lalabas dito for our, alright, so let's have the ultimate load of the beam, of the slab, yung nakuha natin earlier, which is this one. Okay? Tapos, however, pagdating natin sa monolithic slab, ang mangyayari naman dito is sabay yung buhos ng ating beam and slab. Kumbaga, mag-incorporate na po siya as one unit na po siya. So, ibig sabihin lang nito, yung magiging treatment natin sa ating beam is simply this one, or should I say, in this manner. So, ibig sabihin lang yan, ito yung magiging portion ng ating beam. Kung nasaan ninyo nakikita itong height natin. Okay? Then, under the non-monolithic slab, of course, ito yung magiging beam natin. So, nakapatong lang yung ating slab on the top of the beam. While as sa ating monolithic slab, sabay po siya or isang system lang po siya or count lang siya as one unit. As you can see here dito sa ating figure. Kasi later on kasi class, gagamitin natin tong concept na ito in solving the self-weight of the beam. Ano nga ba yung consider natin dito? Itong portion na to or this one? But of course, binanggit naman na this is a monolithic slab. Ibig sabihin lang yan, yung height ng ating beam, hindi natin dadagdagan ng thickness ng slab. Kasi nga naka-integrate na po siya as one unit or one system. Kaya siya may times 2. Please take note dahil nga dalawang slab yung pinanggalingan nung ating beam, okay? So dalawang slab yung sasaluhin niya. That's why kung makikita nyo dito, meron tayo ditong naka times 2. Ganon din yung magiging approach natin para sa live load. So for our live load, yung nakuha natin earlier which is the 4.32. So ita times 2 din natin yan, no? Kasi nga dito sa ating diagram, dalawang slab kasi yung i-carry nung ating beam na nandito. Okay? So, following with that, our ultimate uniform load natin is now equal to 27.461 kilonewton per meter. So, yan yung magiging answer natin for the second question. Okay? So, thank you for watching.